out to all my guys and goddesses checking out this video. I am C, the spiritual goddess, here for another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the whole Lil Wayne being snubbed for the Super Bowl, Kendrick being picked, the whole beef with Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, or Jay-Z versus Young Money, and everything of that nature. This will be a 3-part video. I decided to give you guys a treat. Instead of putting this all in one video, we're going to separate this. So this video will be the commentary portion of it. The next video after this will be a reading on Jay-Z, his issue with Young Money, and different things like that. And then the final video that will be on my Patreon will be more so, which has been requested, how does all this affect Nicki, Beyonce's relationship going furthermore into Nicki and Jay-Z and different things like that. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get into it. A quick announcement: if you do ever want to book a reading, I do have 50% off all my phone and text readings, so make sure you book that. All right, so if you've been living under the rock, the internet exploded last week when Kendrick Lamar was announced as the halftime performance for the Super Bowl, for this year's Super Bowl. Now, for those of you who don't know, this year's Super Bowl is going to be held in New Orleans, and Lil Wayne has been campaigning since last year. There's been interviews. He's talked about this on his podcast. He's on different podcasts. He's talked about this, of his dream of performing at this year's Super Bowl. People also thought maybe there was some things, there was an inkling that it may have happened because they saw him out with Jay-Z a couple weeks ago. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jay-Z is the curator, Jay-Z and Rock Nation, even though they're trying to clean it up now because of the backlash. We're going to get into that. Jay-Z is the curator of the Super Bowl halftime show, and he's been that for the past, I believe, 4 to 5 years. He's been, so he's, his words exactly, he's bringing culture to the Super Bowl. You know, he wants to do more hip-hop acts and different things like that. So, with that being said, you know, there was some division online when it happens because everybody knows Lil Wayne wants to be the performance master. P spoke out, Mason Cameron said something, and then Nicki Minaj, she called Jay-Z out, and yeah, it was a lot to be said. Now, here's my thing that really kind of irks me, because if you're my friend on Facebook, so I might have some Facebook friends watching this. People was kind of like, I don't want to say coming for me, but the people was kind of like, yeah, they was coming for your girl because they felt like I was just kind of coming at Jay-Z for no reason. If you on my YouTube, a lot of you guys agree with me on my post when I said Jay-Z is kind of being spiteful. You know, this is obvious. This is an obvious quote unquote power move, and he's being petty. And a lot is funny because I'm not just saying this, pulling this out my ass. You see a lot of people saying this about Jay-Z. There's been a lot of talks about Jay-Z and Beyonce for quite some time, but especially Jay-Z, how he does his business for a while. Now, before I say this, I have to say two things. One, if you're someone who you stand these people, you put your hopes and dreams in these people, you're not going to like what I have to say. Two, this is not to take away from Kendrick Lamar. I think that some of you guys have made this a Kendrick versus Drake thing again, when this is really not. Do I think Kendrick is going to do a good job performing? Yeah, he performed at the the Super Bowl with Dr. Dre, and it was really, really good. So this is not to take away from Kendrick Lamar at all. I would have loved, me personally, love Lil Wayne. However, Kendrick Lamar, I'm not mad at the choice. You get what I'm saying? This is more so about a Jay-Z. This is what it is. Now, the thing about it, number one, people are saying a few points I don't like. One,
well, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans before. What's the difference now? Where was the campaigning for Lil Wayne?
y'all are failing to realize that the reason why people are outraged has nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. It has to do with the fact that, yeah, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans before, but Jay-Z wasn't over curating the halftime show. Do you get what I'm saying? He wasn't over that before. He is this year, and he's supposed to be on the pulse of the culture. That's where the issue lies at. That's the difference. So bringing up that the Super Bowl, we know the Super Bowl was in New Orleans before. That's not the point. Also, Lil Wayne was campaigning this year to perform at the Super Bowl. So that's the difference. Fans from New Orleans have been wanting Lil Wayne, or at least some NOLA artists, but especially Lil Wayne, to actually perform at this year's Super Bowl. There's been a lot of talks. Get Lil Wayne online if you keep up with that. You get what I'm saying? So that's where it lies at. Number one. That's where the problem is. And Jay-Z, we're going to get to him in a second. But Jay-Z, it seems tone deaf by not putting. I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar's not a good choice, and this is not to take away from him. But Jay-Z, he keeps his ear to the internet. You guys think he doesn't? There's been many people that came out from his campus that Jay-Z, one, has a fake page. Two, allegedly. Two, he keeps his ear to the internet, so he knows what people want. The second thing, and y'all really pissed me off with this one. It's a lot of y'all. I get liking Kendrick Lamar, but you will not disrespect Dwayne Michael Carter. Saying Lil Wayne does not have hits to perform at the Super Bowl is ludicrous. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? You guys, that's on my station head. I'm bringing my station head back, but I'll leave a link below. I'm going to pin in the comments. I'm going to make a Lil Wayne Super Bowl performance. I hear a lot of people saying Lil Wayne does not have hits that he could perform at the Super Bowl. Are you guys crazy? Are you guys drinking the same lean that Lil Wayne drinking? Because to say he doesn't, do y'all not remember Lil Wayne's commercial run? Hell, people were just praising Lil Wayne on Today's track. And for you guys who saying, well, what has he done that's relevant lately? J-Lo performed at the Super Bowl. She didn't have any relevant hits. The Super Bowl is not for quote unquote relevant hits. That's not what it's for. It's for to celebrate the artist. Rihanna, and I love Rihanna, but she did a performance. It was alright. She was pregnant and gave her a pass. But she hasn't had an album in how many years? Like, you could pick up Kendrick Lamar without dogging out Lil Wayne. You know that, right? A lot of you guys sound like, you know how, who remembers, like, I don't know if you what school you went to, but like back in high school, if one person says like this shoe is lame, then everybody else jump on it. That's how y'all sound. Like, you don't have to pick a side. You don't have to dog out one person to lift up another. Hell, Kendrick Lamar has said plenty of times, Lil Wayne is the reason why he does rap. So to disrespect Lil Wayne is crazy. To do it to quote unquote uplift Kendrick Lamar, you're not a real Kendrick Lamar fan. And you know what? This is what I have to say, because I'm someone who, I live, breathe, and eat hip hop. Like, for those of you who don't know, I have worked in the industry before. You know what I'm saying? I worked at radio stations. I used to have my own label. A lot of people don't know that. I used to produce music, for some local acts. A lot of people don't know. I even written certain things for certain people. Or ghost written, I have to say. The thing about it is this. Lil Wayne's influence is more, and I'm going to say this, and some of you may not agree with this, is more relevant in a lot of these new rappers today than a lot of people we call legends, like Jay-Z, for instance. I'm not saying Jay-Z doesn't have relevance in the business, but I always say this is a hot take a lot of people may not agree with. I feel like Kanye and Lil Wayne, they have more influence. Their DNA is in a lot more rappers today than a lot of people now, because they've been able to transcend through time. Do you get what I'm saying? To sit up there and say that Dwayne Michael Carter cannot do a halftime show, does not have enough music to do a halftime show, is crazy. Like, I feel like a lot of you are just saying what other people are saying in an echo chamber. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of you don't really do your research on the history of the breakdown between Jay-Z and a lot of these rappers. I get that, and we're going to get into Jay-Z in a little bit. I get that a lot of people, especially people in my generation, millennials, they have Jay-Z on this Superman, like, complex, so they don't think, like, he can do anything wrong. But Jay-Z is very, very petty. And we're going to talk about that in a moment here. But Lil Wayne deserves the respect. I don't care what you guys say. And I see some people saying, well, another point people are trying to make,
well, he's a man.
Or whatever. The Weeknd doesn't have a drug problem. He performed. A lot of these artists have a drug problem. Quite as kept. Like, I don't know. When I used to work in the industry, I'll say about a good 80, and I'm being generous, 85% of those people be on drugs or have some type of vice. These people have drug problems. Do you get what I'm saying? I've been to a Lil Wayne show before. One of the best fucking concerts I've been to in a while. You know what I'm saying? He really does put on a good show, and when he does pull it together, and this was Lil Wayne after all of that. This is Lil Wayne post 6 dread, like this is like post dreads. He only had 6 dreads in his head at the time. You get what I'm saying? He still put on a good show. As a matter of fact, this is when Lil Wayne was blackballed by Birdman, and there wasn't a lot of people at the show at the time because they weren't promoting him. He still went on and did a freaking good job. So to say that is freaking crazy. Okay. Another point that I'm seeing that people are trying to throw around, it's just like y'all just try to find things to throw around, and it's really crazy. Saying that Jay-Z may not have picked him, and I'm not going for Lil Wayne because he's a Trump supporter, and the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter. While I don't agree with Lil Wayne's stance on that, let me ask you a question. One, where was all this outrage when it comes to Kanye? Because Kanye still had a #1 album. People still supported Kanye West, so really don't want to hear that. Two, my second thing is, what's the difference between what Jay-Z did when he said we are beyond kneeling and when he actually took, like, I can see, don't get me wrong, we got some good performances, but let's not act like what Jay-Z is doing with the Super Bowl is for us. Don't act. You know what? It really irks my nerves when anyone acts like any celebrity at all does stuff for I'm talking about black people. You know, my fellow black people does stuff for us. The culture. If you think any millionaire is doing anything to represent you, and that's in Hollywood, you're crazy. I'm just gonna say that you're delusional. You're the same people who probably took you a while and you believe wrestling was real at first. I'm just saying. Like, all of this shit is performative. You get what I mean? Now, the thing about it is, Jay-Z said we're beyond kneeling. Jay-Z, even though he had people come clean up, was telling people not to take the NFL deal when they was trying to get a hip hop act to curate the show. He told them not to take the deal. You get what I'm saying? And then he goes ahead and does it and backdoors some celebrities and do it himself. You get what I'm saying? Because it's the betterment of Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Let's be real. Where's all this? What's right when Jay-Z brought Dr. Dre, an admitted abuser, to honor him for the LA set? So, with all due respect, all of that is performative. Just like I like Kendrick Lamar, but him acting like he's anti-establishment is really hypocritical because he goes to every establishment. So it's kind of like, But a lot of you all fall for the okie doke because, one, you guys see yourselves in these celebrities, like you think you have close proximity to them, which it doesn't, and then like they don't know you, they're out of touch. You'll be surprised how many of your favorite black celebrities probably are voting for Trump. Probably still voting for him this year. You gotta think they're millionaires. They have a different tax bracket. His policies help some millionaires not pay taxes. Only difference between a lot of these celebrities and Amber Rose is just not afraid to say that she's supporting Trump. That's the only difference. So to think any of these people are for you are crazy. Let's start there. And the other thing I want to say, let's get into Jay-Z. Let's get into it. You guys, it was so funny because on my Facebook page, people were telling me, oh, what do you mean Jay-Z got an issue with Lil Wayne? You're pulling this out your ass. He paid taxes. He paid his taxes. Honey, well, it was crickets when Lil Wayne came out and showed. Because first off, how could you not think that Lil Wayne has an issue with Jay-Z not picking him, where his team came out and said something. His artist came out and said something and showed support. You get what I'm saying? Hell, people who are in close proximity said something. If Lil Wayne didn't have a problem, don't you think he would have told them to shut the fuck up? He did not say that. Then what happens? Lil Wayne makes a video saying he felt some type of way. He felt defeated. Who did he feel that way about? Y'all be so caught up in optics. This is why I say, like, and I say this no disrespect, because I am a fan of Jay-Z. If you know me personally, you know I know every Jay-Z lyric off of every album. You guys know I went to the concert, but that doesn't stop me. Because, see, I have to say this because people think that if you like a celebrity, you can't criticize them. That's the problem. And it's more stan behavior than people think. People talk about, like, stans like Beehive and the Barbs and stuff, but y'all be standing people too. Like, you can like someone and still call out their bullshit. The thing about it is, Jay-Z does bullshit. He does. And this is why when his empire crumbles, because it will. We're going to talk about this in my tarot reading, but things are already starting. A lot of you are going to be up shit's creek, like, confused, just like y'all was with Diddy. You know, remember when a couple years ago when Diddy was goals and there were people coming out saying stuff about Diddy before and people didn't want to believe it? You know, this stuff coming out about Diddy and Cassie, it's only a big thing because you guys could see it. And there was a tape of Cassie. Honestly, a lot of people did not want to believe a lot of stuff with Diddy because people been saying stuff about Diddy. You even seen it on Making the Band how he did his artist, but people still did not want to believe it because a lot of people were like, well, he's a billionaire. Oh, he's doing something for us. It's, you know, seeing a black billionaire means something. It don't mean shit for your ass. Excuse me if you not black, but I'm talking to my fellow black people. Like, stop putting your hopes and dreams in these celebrities and thinking what they do reflects you. It does not do that. It does not do that. And the thing about it is, Jay-Z and Beyonce have been getting called out for years, but because we put them up on this pedestal in our community, because we have this whole thing in our community now where back in the day, you know, the heroes were like the Langston Hughes or the Martin Luther Kings and, you know, Marcus Garveys. Now it's they put these celebrities up here and we made them our heroes, which that's dangerous as fuck, because anybody who really knows Hollywood knows that a lot of these celebrities don't even have control over their own dominion, and you can be bought. You can be bought if you're a celebrity. But a lot of you see yourselves in these people, so when people are coming out and saying things, we ignore it in our community. Prime example, when, not to go on a tangent, but when Tiffany Red, a known songwriter, called out Beyonce for stealing, a lot of people like, well, girl, that's on you. Like, people, like, and I feel like people do that to Jay-Z. Like, okay, you mean to tell me Jay-Z doesn't feel any type of way when, let's call a thing. For that LA tribute that you guys love so much, we wouldn't have got 50 Cent up there if it wasn't for Eminem, a white boy. A white boy from Detroit had to tell Jay-Z, I'm not going up there without 50. Because even though it's been years later, Jay-Z still feels some type of way about 50 dissing him. People have came out, Funkmaster Flex, hell, not just Funkmaster Flex. There's been people on D-Haven, people on that was on Jay-Z's team or used to be affiliated with Jay-Z, has said Jay-Z holds on to things. He only does stuff to benefit him. People like, well, why would Jay-Z have an issue with Lil Wayne when he was hanging out with him 2 weeks ago? Do you guys not know the story of Jay-Z and Dame Dash? There's literally a picture of Jay-Z and Dame Dash a few days before Jay-Z goes and snakes him. And don't get me wrong, yeah, Dame Dash does bad business deals, but Jay-Z still snaked him. This was a lot of you don't know your hip-hop history, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you believe Jay-Z is Superman. Like, y'all put Jay-Z and Beyonce like y'all do other celebrities. Like, who do that? I say Jay-Z and Beyonce. It used to be Oprah, but people are starting to see about Oprah now. Jay-Z and Beyonce. I also say the Obamas. Like, y'all put certain people in these categories, and then when it comes out that they're not who they say they are, then y'all like, oh my gosh. Like when Will and Jada used to be one too. Like when they broke up, oh, love is not real. I'm like, but y'all why would y'all believe in what these celebrities is doing anyway? Child, please. Jay-Z has an issue with Young Money, and it might not be Lil Wayne. Even though Lil Wayne has taken shots, he still feels some type of way. In my opinion, it may not be Lil Wayne directly, but he does have an issue with Drake, Nicki Minaj, Birdman. Where does the breakdown come from? Okay, well, let's do the history. Kanye, and shout out to Impressive, she did a video talking about how Kanye said that when, before Watch the Throne came out, for those of you who don't know, Lil Wayne and Drake was actually working on a collab album first. Kanye actually came out and said, we end up coming out with our project because we wanted to, and basically in so many words, block Drake because they knew it would be a bigger deal. For those of you who also don't know, Drake did not take the title deal, which Nicki exposed recently that she didn't even make money from that title deal. That title deal that's supposed to be black excellence, that was supposed to promote and give artists stake. Only person who ended up getting paid off of that was Jay-Z. He was the one who benefited off of it, only for a title to fail years later. See how karma works? You get what I'm saying? Jay-Z actually, and for those of you who don't know about title, I mean, Kanye West ended up suing Jay-Z about title, but that's neither here or there. Jay-Z also had issues with Drake. For those of you who don't remember about the Rolling Stone interview when Drake criticized Magna Carta, that Magna Carta album. Also, too, Drake felt like Jay-Z wanted him to bow down to him. There's a healthy rivalry there, but there is a rivalry there. For those of you who don't know, Jay-Z and Drake. Where it comes with Nicki, there's an issue with Nicki and Roc Nation. Nicki, and this goes back to Jay-Z. Jay-Z wanted to allegedly sign, everything is alleged, wanted to sign Nicki to the management deal. She didn't take the deal. That's one issue. Also, they've been putting their artist Meg up against Nicki. For those of you who don't know, people think that Nicki just dragged out the blue and just started dissing Meg. No, that didn't happen. Her issues with Roc Nation, and Roc Nation uses Meg, We'll talk about that in my other video. But there's been issues with Nicki and Jay-Z for a while. Jay-Z's people around him for Roc Nation has been coming for Nicki's head. For those of you who don't know, you can say, well, what does Jay-Z has to do with it? Jay-Z not telling him to stop. He's not telling him to stop, is he? When Jay-Z doesn't like something, you hear from him through his people. And that's the thing. Now, with Jay-Z and Birdman, Jay-Z was trying to sign Birdman. This is out of Jay-Z's own mouth. And Birdman sent the cease and desist. Him and Birdman used to be close. For those of you who don't know, when Jay-Z would go down to New Orleans, Birdman would look out for him. He was trying to sign Lil Wayne when Lil Wayne was going through his issue with Birdman, and Birdman tried to sue him for that. So that's what happened when it comes to that. And that's only scratching the surface. You can look at different videos and people will tell you Jay-Z does not really care for Nicki, Drake, and Birdman. That's not me just pulling it out of my ass. You can go and look at, it's many of videos that's talking about this with receipts. So you can go look it up yourself. Impressive. I'll try to remember to leave her video down, but she did a whole breakdown on it. But Jay-Z moves dirty, guys. For those of you who don't know, I have to say allegedly. Do you guys remember when there used to be a time where there was a lot of black-owned labels like Murder Inc., No Limit, Jay Prince had a label, Rap A Lot. Well, allegedly, I believe the man's name is Kaiser. He used to be over Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken, the curator of YouTube. Or he was the music curator for YouTube at one point, if I'm not mistaken. They were trying to take down a lot of those black labels. For those of you who don't know, every artist who say they're pro-black and all that, I kind of don't take it serious because you're signed to a major non-person of color label. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, when there were a lot of black labels at one time, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Kaiser, but there was a couple other major labels that were trying to take them down because they were flooding the market. Allegedly, how Jay-Z got the Def Jam job, how he promised it, was because he allegedly snitched. Now, these are people from Murder Inc. that's saying this, but they show receipts. he allegedly snitched about the backroom deals that was going on in the drug operations to get labels like Murder Inc. shut down and to monopolize on different labels. So there's been talks about Jay-Z for quite some time. He's not clean. And the thing about it is, I know people make excuses, well, he's a billionaire, this and that, but that's not, and it really, it cracks me up when you have people who like, you can't say nothing about Jay-Z, especially my generation, because we have certain celebrities on this Superman hero complex, because a lot of us see ourselves in them. Like, you think you're going to be Jay-Z and Beyonce one day. You think they represent you, and they don't. If anything, they're more on the other side. They identify more with the ops than they do you. So, I just think it's going to be crazy this year. For those of you who's into astrology or into readings, you see the transits for Jay-Z. It's going to be interesting and crazy when Jay-Z gets exposed this year on how the public is going to react. Mark my words, then you're going to see people that try to say, okay, we taking it too far, we need to chill, when it gets exposed, because people can't really handle their favorite celebs falling from grace. But yeah, this is just the commentary part. I hope this wasn't too long. In the next video, we're going to do a reading on Jay-Z, his issues with Young Money, all of that. And then the third part would be on Patreon. So subscribe to my Patreon if that's something you're interested in. But make sure you guys hit that notification button so you can see the second part of this video that will be on my channel. Don't forget to sign up for my email list for free channel messages throughout the week, and let me know what you guys think of this video. I hope it wasn't all over the place. Until then, all my guys and goddesses, see you in the next video. Peace.